I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I just wanted to ramble a little bit. Ramble about a guy that I've been such a big fan of for a very long time, and a guy who might become the subject of nightmares for other fans of the Western NHL division. Let's talk today about recently recalled to the taxi squad for the Colorado Avalanche, Alex Newhook. Because this is a guy who has shown himself off as one of the most intriguing, one of the most dynamic, and one of the most dangerous prospects in the NHL system for the past few seasons already, and with the potential that he might debut as soon as later today against the San Jose Sharks. I just wanted to get my chops in there because I know, for some reason, this is one of the guys that actually gets a whole bunch of attention anytime you talk about him. Oh, Lego, you're only making this video for views. Shut up, I like this guy as well. Go ahead and look up Alex Newhook, Lego Rocks 99 on YouTube in the search bar over there, and you can see so many videos over the years, before this guy was even drafted, talking about this guy, talking about the prospect profile he had, and talking about the elite potential status that he had. But regardless, we're talking about Alex Newhook today, a Colorado Avalanche draftee from the 2019 NHL entry draft, drafted 16th overall. Newhook was a guy who, before that 2018-19 season even started, was projected by many people, like the Hockey News for example, to be a potential top 3 pick. And yeah, you heard that right. We've made videos talking about the mock draft and the pre-draft projections and all that. And Alex Newhook is a guy who, in the BCHL that season, was so incredibly dominant, was one of the higher touted prospects. Now, as the 2018-19 season went on, Alex Newhook stayed in the BCHL. He still dominated, yes, but we had some really good performances from other guys like Cole Caulfield, like Vasily Podkolzin, like Moritz Seider, that pushed them up higher in the draft boards. And as a result, Alex Newhook, while still being a steal at 16, wasn't really projected to going anywhere higher than 13th by the big scouting outlets by the time the 2019 draft arrived. However, that was a mistake, because Alex Newhook, immediately after stepping foot into the NCAA, was one of the hottest rookies in town with 42 points in 34 games played as a center on that squad, a freshman, by the way. His second year, sophomore season, saw him put up 16 points in 12 games, and he was a point per game at the World Juniors for Team Canada. He signed his contract after getting eliminated in the playoffs, and then he went to the Colorado Eagles, where in the AHL he was a point-per-game player there too. Alex Newhook, as a recently turned 20-year-old guy, is one of the more intriguing prospect profiles because, and I said this back in 2019 too, if you want a guy whose prospect profile, not the projection, not the ceiling or the points or whatever, but the style of play, kind of vaguely resembles that Jack Hughes, Connor McDavid. He picks up the puck in his own zone, he skates really hard, he goes by a few guys, he does a few good moves to get by some people, and then he just, I don't know, either cuts to the goal, does a fancy move and scores, or he does a fancy move, deceptive move, and sets up another guy in front. If you want that kind of Connor McDavid, Jack Hughes kind of profile, you get Alex Newhook. And the fact that he did play in the BCHL, which is not as good of a league as the OHL or the WHL or whatever, in my opinion, it kind of, in a way, lowered his draft stock because he was just going out there dominating these other teenagers in BC, doing his thing, having his way with them, that by the time he made his way to the NCAA and did that against older guys, it was already too late because Colorado took this guy already. Colorado, the team that was already so stacked with Bowen Byram earlier in that same round, Cale Makar shattering records and shattering ankles with his overall skating ability, and now you've got a team that's so good, one of the best in the NHL so far, one of the first to clinch their playoff spot, and you add Alex Newhook, who was already a point-per-game player in the AHL. San Jose, man. I pray for you guys. I pray for you very hard if Alex Newhook does indeed make his debut tonight for the Avs. Now, I know everybody's going to be super upset. Oh, Lego, you can't just talk about him like he's Connor McDavid or Jack Hughes. I'm not saying that. Again, I don't see Alex Newhook ever getting, 100 points in 56 games or whatever. That's probably not going to happen. But stylistically, if you want a guy who plays like that, Alex Newhook is your guy. And the fact is, he has worked his way up from the BCHL to the NCAA, a pit stop at the World Juniors, eventually going to the AHL, and he has been so dominant at every step of the way that now it's like, okay, well, what can he do at the NHL level? And come on, Avs fans, don't act like a new rookie coming out of the NCAA and joining your team is a bad thing. Cale Makar had a crazy debut after finishing up his season with the UMass Anthers program. I know Bowen Byram hasn't been like Cale Makar, and that's kind of disappointing, but I mean, Cale Makar kind of set the bar really, really high, to be fair. He still got a lot of good years out of Byram, if you ask me. But Alex Newhook could come out here and be another one of these guys. I know he's not a defenseman, I get that, but seriously, Nazem Kadri, your job, is it in jeopardy here? I'm not sure. So that kind of wraps up the video here, I guess. Just talking about Alex Newhook. Again, I said this is a rambling kind of video. Just wanted to get some thoughts out there because Newhook, to me, could be an elite #1 center on some NHL teams if he develops right. That's the big caveat, if he develops right. Obviously, you're not going to be a #1 center on any team that has Nathan MacKinnon on it, but if you can have a center core with MacKinnon Newhook, and Newhook is playing to the best of his ability, then things could be absolutely crazy, crazy bad for every other team in the division that Colorado plays in. Whether that's the Central, whether that's the West, or whatever. Only saying that because the season this year has some weird divisions. But talk to me in the comments what you think about Alex Newhook. Maybe making his debut soon, but he's on the taxi squad for now. I hope you enjoyed this with Ash Rolls 99. And bye.